Hey, what's up, Tons? We'll be live in just a second. Oh, multipliers. I thought you were Tons. Sorry, man. How am I hearing myself? Oh, I know what it is. Okay, that's better. All right, let's get started here. What's going on, everybody? This is Big Man. Had to take a week off there, so things happen, but we are back. We're gonna get back on Gravitas, and we're gonna try a couple things tonight. Little experiments here or there. But first, let's actually get into what we're doing tonight. We're going to be working on collision detection again, but we're going to try to go back to Unity collision detection and try some different settings to see if it actually achieves what we're trying to do, instead of continually trying to write our own collision detection, which has been hit or miss. But anyway, sit back, relax, or join on in. Let's get started. Oh, my head's all the way down here. There we go. So let's see what we're doing here. Let's actually check out the game. This is Gravitas. You create planets. I forgot I messed that up. You're supposed to be able to grab planets and kind of pull them together, but I forgot I broke that before we ended last time. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go back to Unity's collision detection, because that was happening. That's happening because of my collision detection code. As you see, you create planets, and if you touch it when a red one's touching, if you touch a planet when a red one touches it, crater. Well, these are the craters and these are destroyers. If you touch it when if you touch a crater, you create a planet. If you touch a planet when a destroyer is touching a planet, you destroy it for points. And you can, if I could, I was going to pull that together, and you can actually chain planets together to make to destroy them for point multipliers. But first things first, before we do that, after this song ends, I'm going to play a song. I want to see if I get in trouble for it, because if not, I want to actually add it to my song library on here. Oh, a couple songs. And while that's happening, let's actually start trying to strip out, or at least let's stop using the code, my collision detection code, because that's problematic right now. That's causing a problem. So let's actually get rid of that problem, and let's see what we can do with Unity's collision detection. Now I just gotta remember what I did. What is going on with my... Something weird's happening here. There it is, okay. Just gotta remember. I think this is it. Check bodies intersect. This is apply orbit. This isn't what I'm looking for. You may also take a break and couldn't see if my mic was open. Take a break and mess around with some AI generated models. Might mess around and see if we can get one working on stream. We've been doing that for like the past couple of weeks, essentially taking like generated models, see how fast we can take them from having been generated to animated, rigged, animated, and maybe like a nice little GIF on the stream or something like that. So let's try our first song here. So just wanted to try that, see if I get in trouble for that song. Here's another one.
Multi-Wizard says, how long does it say it copyrighted?
It doesn't. As far as I look, let me check. Where was that? I just closed it. Didn't say anything about it. We'll see though. Because the thing is, it's Riot Music, so it's like, it may or may not be copyrighted. I'd say that you can't ever tell. Here's another song.
Multi-Wizard says, only one Meshi made thing for the show. Multi-Wizard says, I'm low on points.
Okay. I'll look at it in a second. trying to remind myself what this code actually does. Well, just try those things, and they don't work. I'll figure out something, because I add music for every month, so I'll find something else. Those don't work. All right. Still trying to figure this out, but I'm not looking at this code for like, I don't think I've looked at this code for maybe 3 weeks now. Yeah, I was gone in 1 week. There was a week in between there where I don't think I streamed. Oh, wait a minute. No. It's been 2 weeks. The week I was gone last week. So I haven't looked at this code in 2 weeks.
Multi-Wizard says, I sent a photo.
Okay, I'll check it out. See, I've got to remember now. I've got a Dropbox. I completely forgot about it.
Multi-Wizard says, do you think it will work?
Checking it now. Oh, you put it on Discord. Oh my God, I forgot I had a Discord. I'll bring it up on here. Let's see. I'm not sure about those legs. I just don't think, while it's cool, don't get me wrong, it's very cool. I don't think the legs are gonna work. Hey, what's up, that man Robin? How's it going, man? How's your night? We're looking at a AI generated mesh here, and oh my God. Ginyu, aka Multi-Wizard, wanted to know how well this could be. Oh, cool. I need to drop by your stream. I see you stream every once in a while. Ginyu was asking how well this could be rigged and animated, and I don't think it's going to be very well, because I don't think the rigger is going to like those backwards legs. We're gonna level. Are you working on the game, Robin? Oh, tell me about it, man. Fighting for. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen it on. I think I seen it on Dianara's stream actually. I think he had played a little bit of it, right? Yeah, yeah. I know I've seen it. It looks interesting. How long you been working on it and what's your platform? Oh, 5 years? Oh man, wow. But you got them. How close are you to getting like the full? Oh, what am I working on? I'll show you in a second. But how close are you to getting your like a full game out? Oh, cool, cool. Okay. Can you tell me about your launch? What you planning to do? So right now this game is busted, but I'll show it to you. Oh man. I'm trying to think. What could you do on the marketing frontier to help you out? Yeah, I did. I posted about it before. I haven't posted on it I haven't posted about it for a while. Because I've also changed like render engines and stuff like that since then. So what you would do if I could do it, you touch creators to create planets, and if you touch a planet with a destroyer, you destroy it for points. And you can grab planets and put them together into chains, which I can't do right now because that's busted. Because like this, the planets fly off and I got to figure out why that's happening. But you can make chains and then blow up the chains, and then it gives you a multiplier the further down the chain you go from the explosion. I'm going to be messing around with some collision detection tonight because part of what I was writing, I am, but it's not like, it's pseudo physics, right? It's not like actual physics calculations. So you see there, it made a chain when it connected. And so if you blow that up, now the multiplier goes down the chain. And you have an objective per level. So that's what I've got so far. And certain bodies have, yeah, this is 2D. Certain bodies have they have gravity values. So like if you see these two are pulling towards each other, but they don't have a lot of gravity between them. But like a sun or something would actually, like say those two have a lot of more gravity between them. So they'll pull together and then they'll eventually get into orbit. And if you get things that have like the same gravity value, they'll synchronize, rotate around each other. Mutual rotation. Oh, you can't post a link, sorry. There's a way I can give you permission. I'd have to go into the thing. Ha ha. I think that gives you an 8-hour permit. No, that's an 8-hour timeout. Sorry. Let me, how do I turn that off? Untime it. Okay, sorry about that. As you've seen, I'm not that good at modding myself, so. So I think your permit's good. No, still, I think it's got to be Steam elements. Take the like .com out of it or something. I could probably figure it out. Yeah, one thing I want to do is get rid of Steam elements. I think some of my problems have been with Steam elements. Pixel Planet generator. Okay, let's see. Mm-hmm. Was that itch? Okay, yes, I'll just look it up, yeah. Oh, okay. And you can. Oh. That's cool. I wonder, could you actually use this in a game? I mean, I guess you could. You could just export it. But I guess they wouldn't mind. Here's some shader code. Currently, 8 types of plant. If you want to use this research, you can download the source for the shader code. Okay, so you can download the source. Oops, did not mean that. Oh. Very cool, very cool. Okay. It's cool, man. Thank you for showing me that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, do you know though, my let me show you. These I made. Can I go to it? I made these something like 10 years ago. Like this game is like, this isn't the original game. The original game, originally Gravitas was made in XNA. So these are the original graphics that I made in Blender and then exported into GIFs. So that's an actual no, XNA's been dead for a good long while. That's why I got out of it. That's why I stopped working on this game, because you have to have XNA on the machine for it to run. So when Microsoft dumped it, you know, there was no reason to continue. Yeah. So this game's been sitting on an old computer for years until I decided, like, when a local game dev group I was part of did a 48-hour game jam. 48 hours non-consecutive, stretched over a month. And I decided to wait a minute, no, different story. That's when I learned Godot. That's not right. No, that's not right. No, this was just me deciding.
Multi-wizard says, okay, this last one should work.
Okay, I'll check in a second. No, this was me deciding to see if I could, how fast I could take that game and make it into Unity. And it was pretty quick. It was only a couple, a couple sessions. Oh, YouTube. I'm also dual streaming on YouTube. So that's Multi-Wizard, aka Ginyu. He's been a long time a supporter of the stream. Yeah. I should probably put that somewhere, like the TTS, YouTube TTS or something like that. So let's see what Ginyu did in Meshi. Oh, okay, this could work. Yeah, this will rig. I'm not sure what it's going to do with this part, but it should be fine. So are you familiar with so what we're doing here, Robin, is we've been messing around with AI generated meshes. And so Multi-Wizard, oh yeah. I've got music from different people off of Lana's Discord. Yeah, he was very gracious to let me use his music. But yeah, Ginyu has been messing around with Mesh AI, and then he'll make a mesh, and then I'll see how fast I could get it rigged up and animated. And so far, we've done a couple things.
Multi-Wizard says, sadly my old channel was lost.
Okay. Yeah, and see, I got tired of Robin. I got tired of dealing with that copyrighted stuff. So I just find like artists that are like, you know, like Pennant, like who make great music and you know, just want to have people play their music. I've done it. This is what I'll show you. I've actually done it a bunch of times already. Where we got it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Yeah. So these are all ones that that Ginyu created in Meshi. I took them in the Maximo. Oh yeah. I that's one thing I can't do is rig. Like I can't manually rig like that. But this is Maximo rigging. Like if you give it something that is humanoid, it can do it. Excuse me. A little bit of dinner there. So that's what we're talking about. Like this, I think will rig in Maximo. Yeah, exactly. So it's easy to put like these are just animations from Maximo, and then I just export them out. I've even done a couple of complicated ones. Where are they? Where I applied a couple animations to them. There's Miles Morales. I wanted to make the animation longer, but it just wasn't working out. And here's Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls. That's like 3 animations I put together. Yeah. And so I've got a couple more of those left to do. Like I just kind of do them when I just, like I'm waiting for something to process or something like that or to run. I'll just work on one on stream. But yeah. And I want to do a video. This is stream. Yeah, I mean, I can make stream overlays. I had one a while back. I mean, I make my own. I used to be a graphic designer, so I can make an overlay. I just really, I'm just busy, and I just don't want to do another one. Okay, how did you make a chatbot trivia game? That's kind of one of the things I want to do next. Because I kind of want to mess around with I have messed around with Twitch integrations, but I never finished it. And I actually incorporated with AI. Yeah, the Twitch API. Yeah, see, that's the next thing, or that's one of the things I need to get into is messing around with the AI, the API. To get AI, to get IRC integration. Because there's some things I want to do. Because I actually had it where you could control a game through the Twitch, the Twitch extension. Like I actually had it where you can control XCOM too, where the buttons would show up. I put that video up on Lana's on Discord. But I had 2 issues with it. How'd they break it? Hey, in the arena game, are you talking about like they kind of auto fight? Because I've seen that. I've seen that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Okay, makes sense. Gotcha. Okay. So what's next for you after you finish your current game? Oh, actually, since we're talking about overlays, I'll show you the one. I'll show you the one I normally use on coding. Can use Unity and run. Now, did you ever use the Unity Twitch integration? I had gotten into that program and I never used it just because I never had time. Let's go to the beach. Let's Kansas City. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Stuff like fall or something. Yeah, I kind of figured. I just never like dived into it, but I need to. Either for redeems. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Two thread safe queues. Okay. Huh. Interesting. So you have to handle everything in a single thread, essentially. Makes you can't call. So you yeah, that's exactly one of the problems I have with my main game. Because you know this is the side game I'm working on right now. Right, that's exactly. I wonder if I can bring all that up. Because this is the second game. This is not my main game. My main game is the turn-based MOBA, which I haven't given a name yet. I can't show it because it's busted. But I wonder if I can show the code where I'm doing the multi-threading. Just I have a name now. I have a name and I have like the artwork for it as well. Let me see if I can get the artwork up. Where did I stick that artwork?
Multi-wizard says. Okay, I uploaded it.
Okay. Won't be tonight, but I will rig it up. We will get to rigging it up. I'm kind of behind. Okay. Let me switch back to main here. So this is for the turn-based MOBA.
Multi-wizard says. I want to see you speed this lion up.
What do you mean speed him up? I mean, you want me to make him look like a crack fiend or something? I mean... But that's that. I did. So my artist did this, and I kind of told her, like, I mean, it is a MOBA, so they're essentially fighting against each other. But I had to get her to kind of go back and redo it because he looked a little too crazy, right? You know. But yeah. So the main game right now is just I'm having a couple issues with it.
Multi-wizard says.
Yeah, she's really
it's
great.
It's a timed run.
So you want me to do a timed run animation with it? With your lion guy? So here's some artwork, other artwork she's done though. She did all my concept work for my characters for the MOBA. That one was not her. That was the original guy I worked with. That was her, and that's what your serial killer guy is based off of. That one I don't have a model. I haven't had the model created for that yet. There's your guy from the also from that cover image. I should be naming this the Knight, Lightning Mage, the Ninja, Paladin, Samurai, the Void Mage. And I wish my models don't really represent these well. as well as the art is, which I really want to go back and
Multi-Wizard
redo.
says, you said how fast it takes to do the task.
So you want me to speed run it? You want me to speed run it? Oh yeah, it's very nice. So my feeling about it is, me personally, I'd rather have a person do it like I did here. Even though I do use it for like placeholder stuff. My feeling about the whole AI stuff is it should only be used for prototyping and like placeholder. Like that win-loss screen I showed you. You saw
Multi-Wizard
Gravitas?
says, so a countdown clock or something.
Oh, you want me to race to do it? Okay. That's not a bad idea. Because that was the original idea. We were going to race to actually see how fast we could get it done. We actually do need to do a countdown clock. We'll do that one. We'll do that one stream. We'll do it. Let's go back here. The win-loss screens. Yeah, you can't see it here. Let's see if I can win-lose real quick. All right, need a chain real quick so I can destroy it. All right, now I need a red one to come on over here. Okay, see, this is AI art, but I would not put this in my actual game, right? Because I don't want to, not that I don't like it, but I also don't want to have to sit there and tell Steam that that I use AI anything in here and get it like pushed down in the rankings. So I am going to have an artist redo this in some way. Now this is a art that I altered. I made it into like I took it in like GIMP, and I faded it out the edges. But yeah, this is just placeholder, and that's how I think AI art should be used. I don't think well, I won't say that. I eventually think that there will be artists that use AI to make art, but for everyone else, like I think it's just placeholder prototype stuff, right? Because one thing interesting I did is I've been messing around with DeepSeek, and I just asked it to generate. Yeah, but here's the thing though. Is the model for the generator going to be based off of non-copyright, non-royal, blah, 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 non-copyright, royalty-free imagery?
Multi-Wizard says, I'm going rest, it's been a long day.
All right, my man, you take it easy. And see, that's one thing, like the service I use to make this is deepai.org, and they say
Multi-Wizard says, 33D files made in 2 days.
33. I missed what that said. Let me actually go look at what you just said. $33D files made in 2 days? Good grief. This is AI. Anyway, that's what you can do with AI. Yeah, yeah, he's making it. He's using Meshy AI to make AI models. That's where all these came from. All these, yeah, that's where all these came from. He made them, and I rigged them in Maximo, and put animations to them, and outputted them into this. And I tried to see how fast I could do it, and we got down to minutes. And the minutes is just waiting for, like, you know, Giphy or something, or Maximo to upload the model. That and then I had him make Miles Morales and Buttercup. No. He's a game developer. I've actually played some of his games on air, but yeah, he doesn't do like game modeling, or I mean 3D modeling. That's what he was saying. He wanted an actual timer next time when I did it. Let's see. But yeah, I'm of two minds of the AI art stuff. One is, it's fine if the models are using non-copyrighted, non-royalty free, or royalty-free non-copyrighted imagery for their sources, right? I think that's okay. I think it is okay to use copyrighted in royalty and ones that have royalty to it if you're not going to make money, because that's how you can do that now with stuff. Yeah, it is, but as you've seen, they're rough. Like, I wouldn't use these for a game. I would not use these models for a game. If you look closely to them, they're like the tail back here on the girl. It's everywhere. Yeah, I don't know, but like, actually, let me show you the one he just showed us, and you tell me what you think. If I can go back and find it now.
Multi-Wizard says, I did start out with a CAD that ran on DOS. Smiley face.
With the CAD that ran. Oh yeah, you have done some modeling in the past. No, I didn't do anything with the tail. Like, I had Maximo rig it, because I'm not a modeler or a rigger. Like, all my models are done by somebody else, or modeled and rigged by somewhere else. Like, for my actual main game, those models were actually created by a modeler, and they're being rigged by my animator. But showing you this, like this model right here, let me get rid of the dancing fools off here. You look at that, you tell me, how does that look like for this appearance? How does the amount of faces in there, the polygons? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought you were gonna say. Excuse me, I got a cough for a second. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. These things are not optimized. Yeah, exactly. These are not optimized for use in a game, to be quite honest, with my opinion of it. Yeah, I actually watched a video from Emphysema where he took he used the same service we're using, Meshy AI, and he made it work in a game, but he didn't mention. I mean, I don't think he didn't really say like talk about optimization and stuff like that. But he talked about what you would need to do to make this work, and the levels you have to go through to make it work, which is probably not worth it. It'd probably be just as easy to have somebody model it and rig it for you. Yeah, for real. Yeah. You see, I'm not an expert, but I know this is not optimized. You should be 20K. Yeah, exactly. Because I've worked with modelers and animators. Of course, I get an idea of like what a high level model, like a high level optimized model would have, and parlay counts. Trying to find something real. Show you something I did with DeepSeek. Right, you can make this work, and that's what Emphysema did. I don't know if you're familiar with Emphysema, the DJ who also is a game developer. I used to watch his YouTube stuff until he created a I just unsubscribed because he created a course for $1,000, game dev course for $1,000 that he's selling to people, half off at $500. I was like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, but back when I was watching him, yeah, exactly. Back when I was watching him, he went into he did the same thing we were doing. Went into Mesh AI, and he went through the process of making this work in a game, and he had to go through and re-edit this stuff to make it functional. Like, and at that point, he was saying, which I agree. Like, you would just get a modeler and a rigger to go ahead and do that for you, or just model and rig it yourself. So one thing I had, hopefully it doesn't blind you. Doing my next game, I know artist who is going to work for me. He's one of Nimlet's students. I'm not sure who Nimlet is. But that sounds cool. My modeler is all Fiverr, and this stuff is okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to redo it all one day for the main game, but it works for right now. But one thing I had, Nimla is a mentor who works. Oh, Hogwarts! Wow, okay, cool. Yeah, I've never heard of him, but that sounds cool. But one thing I was having DeepSeek do was I told it I wanted it to write a Unity shader that I see him. I can't. Oh, okay. So he has a Twitch. Ah, okay. I'll have to go over there and check him out. Because are you familiar with Miz? Miz actually rated me once. Like right before he stopped doing Twitch. Oh yeah, yeah. I was on break and I missed him. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But anyway. I told DeepSeek to make me a Unity shader that combined the visual aspects of Vagrant Story and Overwatch. Now think about that. If you're familiar with Vagrant Story, Miz, M-I-Z-Z. I think it's like 3 Z's. He might call him a Mizgiver, but I know him as Miz. Yeah. But think about those two. If you're familiar with Vagrant Story, think about those two art styles, right? Like one is like a Renaissance painting, and the other one is this colorful, like Candyland looking thing. And I told it to
Multi-wizard says, last one photo.
Okay, I'll check it in a minute. And I told it to make me a shader. Now, this is not going directly into a game, and it should be impossible to do mixing those two art styles. But I told it to do it anyway, and told it to research Vagrant Story and Overwatch styles and put together the shader. And so I'm really interested to see how this works. But the thing is, like, I've made a shader before in XNA, so I understand how shaders work. Like, I didn't just print this, making it, I made a shader recently and it worked great after a few adjustments. Okay, cool. What was the, what was like the art styles? What was it supposed to do? Yeah, I'm not familiar with Unity, but I've built a shader before. So this is kind of like me learning how to make a shader through using AI. But this shouldn't work. It's supposed to cut away the shader and the faded transparency based on. Okay, interesting. All right, let's see what multi-wizards got for us. Okay, this is your robot that you've done before. Oh, this is the robot you did before when you model in CAD. That's why I remember this now. And I know with CAD, you had to model the splines, if I remember correctly. It basically makes it so foreground objects does not include. Prior that was using stencil buffer and mask like crap. That's how I feel like mine's gonna look. It's gonna be like a bunch of crap, but at least I learned something. Yeah, so with this, I'm sure you had the simple objects, and then you could spline some of these out. Or were they just simple objects? I can't remember. I've seen CAD. I've used it a little bit when I actually took a class for modeling, so I did some CAD. But that was mostly we did mostly 3D Studio Max. But I know that took a lot of work back in the day when you did that. Exactly, yeah. That's where AutoCAD went. AutoCAD tried to be a 3D modeling suite back in the day, because that's why we learned a little bit of it when I took my modeling class. Like, it's got to be like 20 years ago. Yeah, that's kind of me too. I can't model for anything. If I wanted to sit down and learn it, I could. Like, if I had some skill when I did it back in the day, but like now, it's a whole nother thing. Like, you really need to be an artist to do it. do it well. Because when I modeled these in Blender, I mean, I understood what like...
Multi-Wizard says, for a DOS program it could do way more.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm very sure. Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, I did these back when I knew what, like, I understood bump maps and normal maps and diffuse maps and all that. And so I actually, like, took maps of the Earth and, like, put them on the spheres, or maps of, you know, Jupiter and Neptune and stuff. Yeah, but I've lost all that skill. Like, I've actually tried, like, doing this stuff I've been recently doing with these AI generated models. I've barely been able to remember how to do stuff in Blender that I knew, like, you know, 10 years ago. But of course, Blender's changed as well.
I've messed around with Poser as well.
I've known some people that mess around with Poser as well. Of course, and Maya. I had a guy I went to college with was a genius Maya guy. Yeah, Blender it does everything I needed to do, but I don't need to do much. Well, I can imagine. It's GIMP versus Photoshop. If you're a professional, you're using Photoshop. GIMP does everything I need to do, but I'm not doing anything crazy with imagery. Yeah. And see, half of those I have not heard of. I've heard of Maya and ZBrush, and I think Substance. I haven't heard of the other ones. And I've actually seen, like, people work in Maya. I don't think I've seen ZBrush or the Substance, unless like Lana's done it. You're being a cakewalk. Yeah, see, when you start getting into, like, deep into texturing, I have no clue, man. I know basic texturing. Or bakers and printers. Okay. Because when Lana's doing that stuff, like when she's making her models, I'd be completely lost. She's kind of like a freehand, if I understand, because she has a talent.
Wizard says, okay, last photo for real now. I'm hungry.
Oh man. Okay. Because I know you. This is your Poser 6 work, right? This is what I would expect you to do. She is a jack of all trades. Now, this is just something you did, or is it like something you did for a game? Multi-Wizard.
Robin Trantham says, Multi-Wizard go to sleep KEKW.
Hello, Robert Trantham. How you doing tonight, man? Welcome in. We're just having conversations. Oh, you're over there. I should have thought Robin. Robin. Okay, sure. Yes. Okay. Cool. Cool. Should have put that one together.
Multi-wizard says. Game.
Okay. All right. I did kind of accidentally dox you. Sorry about that. I was not thinking. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. So you actually do stuff on there. I got you. Okay, okay. Yeah, because this is kind of my play account.
Multi-wizard says. I need to tell my nightmares in a bit.
Need to tell? You mean take? Okay. All right, man. All right, you take it easy if you gotta go. I'll talk to you next time.
Multi-wizard says. Take.
Yeah, I kind of get that. And we were talking about yeah, kind of the same here. YouTube, there really isn't like a, I want to say not a space for indies, but I know there is space for indie game live streams. There is. It's just really hard to break into. Yeah, Twitch is, of course, the live streams work here. I mean, that's what it's for. But I do know, like, game devs, any game devs that stream, and that they actually have followers and people, you know, like substantial followers on YouTube. But I just kind of look at it as, yeah, Thor, yeah, you managed to do it, yeah. You may some say, and lost, have, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've kind of looked at the YouTube now. It's just kind of there. It'll be an archive for these streams. And I'll still put content up there every once in a while. Like, I want to actually put a video up about the AI generated meshes and kind of my experience doing this stuff. Like things like that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm getting much out of YouTube. That's why I've stopped like putting up like. I used to like put up like shorts and stuff like that, but it really wasn't working out. The numbers just weren't supporting keep doing it. Oh, and I also got banned on TikTok, but that's a whole nother story. All right, man, you take it easy and have a good night, Robin. Thank you for the convo. I think this is where I tried to do No, no, no. Man, not seeing this code for 2 weeks has messed me up. I cannot figure out. I guess we got to start breaking things to figure things out. Because I remember I did some threading. I tried to run some things in a thread, and I can't remember where I had that at. Was there a task? There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go back. Okay. So I was doing all this calculation in its own thread, but that wasn't working out. Yeah, this is what we want to get rid of. So let's get rid of all this and let's see if this fixes our planets running away from us when we try to click on them. Excuse me, didn't mean to cough in the mic. All right, so let's see if this fixes our problem. There we go. So now what we want to do, excuse me. All right, sorry, I coughed there. What we want to do is put Unity's collision detection back into place. And we want to mess around with some of the settings and see if maybe that actually fixes our problem, which is that sometimes that happens where the collision detection is too slow and it doesn't kick off the code that would stop them from overlapping.
Multi-Wizard says, okay, I think of this one as my best idea for a game. I shall be updating it in small chunks of every other day. I posted the link.
Let me see. Hold on, let me check a second. This one you've been working on before, right? I felt like I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen this artwork before. Yeah, you've been working on this for a while. Yeah, years, yes, years. But, okay, cool, dude. Well, just keep me updated.
Multi-Wizard says, now that I took my nighttime meds I can calm down.
Okay. All right, let us look at our collision detection. So circle collider. Collider. All right, let me look up something, because I swear I saw where I could make a couple changes. I could try a couple settings here that might help me out. But in the code, we need to We'll have to go down to celestial body level. And get its collider. Right. So can I tell it to call a function? I can see where it says send a message, but broadcast message calls us. Yeah, does it call it on collision? I mean, I've done this before. I've done this on the main game. So what the heck did I do there? All right, it's time to go ahead and load that up because I'm forgetting everything. You know, as long as I probably had that song, I've never heard this. Because I know the Cursed Order soundtrack has been there for a long time. You're so slow. Come on. How did I do that? How did I tell it to call a function on trigger? Oh, I put it on the object. I put the script on the object. Don't I already do something like that? Oh, this is the click object for the buttons. Or the click event for the button. But ugh. So I'm going to create a script, put it on the objects. When they collide, essentially, have it register that they are in a chain addition. Actually gonna make it on the object. That's the way I'll set it up. Okay. But first, I might have to take a break. I will be back in a minute. In a couple minutes.
Tonofrix says, "Hey, how you doing? Sorry I was late."
All right, coming back. Oh, wrong one. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go back to Palermo. All right, so we need to create a script for collision detection. Doesn't matter what it's called. Okay.
Tonobrix says, is the Unity collision detection being goofy again?
I've decided to go back to not the beginning, but essentially I'm trying to rework Unity's. I figure I may have skipped over doing it a more simpler way than I'm doing it now. Just because I thought it would be faster, but I'm going to try to make Unity's work. Because any other way I go is going to be just even more complicated. By the way, how you doing tonight, man? Hope you're well. Oh, if you're using DeepSeek, one thing I'm going to mention to you, they have an update for the 8 billion param. I pulled it down and now my setup doesn't work.
Tonobrix says, I'm doing good, thanks for asking. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Got a couple issues with the main game, but it kind of is what it is. I'll talk about that in a minute. Because I can run it locally. Yeah, I don't put any of my information. I don't put any of my private information like in those sites, chat or DeepSeek. I download models locally and run them. Because the setup I was telling Tons is another of our friends of the stream over on YouTube, and we've been using DeepSeek for a couple things. I showed you the shader, but one thing I was doing was setting up. I initially started doing this tutorial setting up an agianic application, essentially something that could run. I could tell it to run things on my machine, and so it required pulling down DeepSeek and another model named Gwen, and then doing some things to make the models kind of work together. And it was actually pretty cool, and I got it to kind of work, and then I started going beyond it. And then I just recently busted it by pulling down an update to DeepSeek. So we got to figure that out later. Because the way it worked is essentially Gwen is the chatbot. You tell Gwen, hey, I want you to do this. It tells DeepSeek in whatever way to write the Python script for it, and then DeepSeek sends the Python script back to Gwen, and Gwen will run it. So it was pretty cool. And I want to actually get that functional again. but I was going beyond it to have it do other things as well. Yes. Oh, tons. I was just showing Robin earlier what I had DeepSeek do. Do I still have it up? So are you familiar with Vagrant Story and how it looks? Why don't I just bring that up? Instead of me just talking about it. So this is what Vagrant Story looked like from back in the day. Right? And then Overwatch. So look at these two art styles, right? I told DeepSeek to actually write me a Unity shader combining these two art styles. And do I still have it up? Oh. I go find it. Oh, okay, there it is. So this is what it gave me. So I had to do a bunch of different ones where it tried to combine those two art styles of a Renaissance painting and a like popish color collage, I guess, a candy looking collage of Overwatch. So I will be trying this out when I get some time. And there's no way that this works. There's no way. I was using the deep search feature. I told it to dig into me and my game and write a dev journey. At one point was found like, oh wow, looking at ways to extract. It's like using Python to connect to YouTube. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, if I get it set, if I get my setup locally like I want, I mean, I will be able to talk to my computer and tell it to do things, tell it to run things, and I want it to go back through.
Says, if it works, I will be surprised, impressed, and scared at the same times.
Oh, that's cool. If I, okay, the interview line. Okay. Yeah. And what they feed those things is incredible. Like, and also can be scary too, because like DeepSeek won't tell you anything about Tenement Square, so just have to be careful about that kind of stuff. But yeah. But I had to do a couple versions of that. All right. So, Tons, what you been working on lately, Matt? Oh yeah, that was so. The Chinese government is very good at manipulation.
Tonopbrix says, not much, been messing around with some game ideas and features. The RL clip takers is pretty much perfect now.
But yeah, the Chinese government is very good at manipulation, and I'm really afraid, like with AI, it's going to get so much worse. Yeah, oh, dude, it's going to get really wild. Like the elections in the United States are going to get pretty terrible. As people start like using AI to like manipulate people. Yeah. Oh, with some RL clip takers. That's why. That's why. Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, the ransomware is already bad. Ransomware is already bad, but like with AI hacking too, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Tonopbrix says, soon the presidential speeches are gonna be made by AI.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt that at all. Now, where is my script at? Dude. I mean, honestly, I normally don't talk about politics on here, but you can see I'm barely at words for what is happening with Trump and this and some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth. Man, I cannot. I'll let it go. Anyway, no, I mean it should be apparent to people. It should be incredibly apparent to people what's that this person has a mental problem. Yeah, I don't care like whatever side you're on, you should recognize that. But anyway. Oh, I meant to say earlier you had talked about Robin, you had talked about the multi-threading in Unity. This is from the main project, and I need to up the view.
Tonopbrix says, the US president in 50 YRS is probably using ChatGPT to do their homework, LOL.
Would not surprise. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. But I figured out I have a way around the multi-threading issue. Unity using a single, where Unity using its own threads.
Tonopbrix says, and watching Italian Brainroot.
Now, where are you from again, Tons? I'm sorry, I know we talked about it a while back. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I'm using reflection. I'm trying to remember, how do I zoom in here?
Tonoprix says. US.
Oh, you're US. Okay. Control plus. Okay. Okay. There it is. All right. In utilities down here. Yeah, essentially I have, because what I have, oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, I have a runner that my netcode calls, and it sets up. Let's see, where's the different place I can show it? Like right here, it'll call this function. It'll tell it what model to load and what object to actually assign it to. So sticks in here, JSON. My backend is MySQL. And so calls this and it tells it the model name, and it'll have something to get the object. And well, yeah, I have a way to get the object. And so it'll give it the model and the object. And essentially when this runs down here, this will run in a Unity called function, or it'll run in the Unity thread, and it'll load the model and it'll actually put it with the object. You see the game object find. Dial cam. Dude, you always miss it. Oh, let me find it. Oh, I gotta go back up here, right? Yep, you always miss him. But I do wonder if he thinks that when he hears me talking, does he kind of go somewhere else to be quiet for some quiet? But yeah, but this is how I'm getting around it. Essentially, one thread feeds the information in from the one thread feeds in the information and then the other thread pulls so like one thread will call this and the information that needs to be loaded, and then this function is called at the top of the frame to actually load in that information. Oh, and by the way, Robin, the Ton of Bricks dog cam. What? It could. I haven't thought about it. I could. That's a good question. Would they allow that? Huh. Could you call game object in a task? Calling Unity functions. Well, no, this is being called at the top of the frame. Like this function execute. They go. Yeah, no, and here it's calling the game object. Yeah. See here, it's actually getting the game object. Yeah, right. So I couldn't run this in async. But these functions, the loader functions, are running in their own thread, or running in another thread. All right, you take it easy, Tons. Yeah, the stuff coming from the database is loading from its own in its own thread. Plays it will have threading, but I was skeptical. It'll be interesting to see. I know if I really. So when I started looking at making this game, the main game, I looked at the options, right? I looked at Godot and Unreal, and if I had like the time to really put into Unreal, Oh, I thought you were talking about Unreal. Okay. So Unity is saying, oh, you were somewhere. Okay, sorry. All right. Yeah, but the thing was that just the complexity of Unreal, and it felt like overkill for what I was doing. Like Unity was the sweet spot for the main game. But now that I've learned Godot, I wouldn't mind doing. I would do a 2D game Godot. But I already started the 2D game in Unity. But we'll see if they're going to do multi-threading in 6. And see, yeah, and the reason. So I wasn't able to run Unity on. I didn't have a machine that could run Unity until a couple years ago. Like the machine I'm on now is a custom built, but I didn't have that type of money back then. Before that, I was running. All I had was like a laptop, so I tried to make a game in RPG Maker, and that's show you my VR back screen real quick. It was it wasn't that powerful at all. Like it couldn't run OBS or anything. So that game in the background you see there, that was the game I created. And it was kind of a game where characters could do like dynamic, it had like dynamic conversations. And that's from the main game. That's when I was messing around with it in the beginning. That's Genyu's game. That's Multi-Wizards game. All right. But yeah, so that's that. Okay. How did that work? Because I kind of did try to do the same thing. In fact, I've got video of it. That wasn't that game I showed you. They were from local. Okay, cool. Where would that video be at? Talk about you dox yourself. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just using tuna. Was it tuna? VLC. I'm using VLC, so it just pulls the name from the files. I forgot I don't use tuna anymore. Tuna was when I was pulling the images from like iTunes. Oh yeah, I'll definitely talk to you because I will be integrating some form of some form of chat interaction in Twitch. But thanks for the offer, man. I definitely take you up on it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. The thing is, I may end up writing something myself just because I want it to I want to integrate it into some of my own existing code. It just depends on yeah, I'm sure YouTube has IRC. Because I know who uses YouTube chat commands. I know I've seen them. I know I've seen somebody using them. Hmm. I mean, they're. I mean, we all know about Thor, and I feel like there are a couple other guys, but yeah, it's not big on YouTube. Yeah. So I've been doing this now for, well, let's close the and of course Lana, yes. Yeah, I've been doing this now for, I've been streaming about 3 years now. My goal was to make a kind of community of game devs, and one of the biggest things is just game devs are reclusive, I guess the right word. They don't, your average game dev kind of just wants to work on the game and kind of come out when they want people to kind of play it, or to show it off, or you know, that type of thing. So that's kind of what I was just seeing. So I'm kind of shifting gears now that I've got my company kind of my game dev company kind of started. Yeah, exactly. Like I will be shifting over to like making the Discord, from the Discord for the stream to the Discord for my company. And I will probably start streaming on my company Twitch, because I have a like the video I just showed you was from the YouTube for the company. But I will probably start using that stuff a little bit more and stream, and I don't know if I'll be streaming less here. I'm not sure. I know I can't do it all, but also I tried to stream on Twitter as well, and like there was just nobody there for that. Like it was even worse than YouTube. I don't think Twitter remembers it has streaming, because one of the biggest problems with the Twitter streams is that they promote it less than one of my regular tweets, and they enacted them getting rid of the streams after 30 days. So what was the point? It was less strain on my computer to get rid of it. Yeah. Sorry. Don't think that's right. It says on collision enter 2D, right? The 3D module. Oh. So I've done this before in the main game. In the main game, it's a 3D collision there. The first time I've done a 2D collision detection, or wrote the event function for the collision detection in 2D. Because let's look at another example here. Was not player controllers. That was on trigger enter. And that was they sent the collider. Trigger enter. Yeah, on trigger enter. We'll do an experiment. We'll see how this works. Okay, just the kind of dots off to the side here. The collider name is right. I mean, just whenever you need to use it, if you need a singleton, like if you need an object that is just, like I've used static objects before that are just, well, it's just another programming concept. If you need to use a singleton, like if you need to use a single object. Is that what you're talking about? Like the concept of a singleton? Like actually like programming where the object is I keep wanting to use static, but a singleton doesn't have to be a static, I don't think. But I definitely use static objects before as needed. I think my utilities in my regular function is a static object. It's a singleton. Like you don't need to instantiate it. I'd say use what you need to use as long as it's, I would say like, I go back and forth between code that needs to be clean and code that needs to be more functional, if that makes sense. So everybody talks about clean code, clean code, clean code. That's great, right? It makes structurally makes good, but you get to a point where you start sacrificing speed for structure. If I'm wrong for that, am I? It's hard to put into words right now, but I feel like people go overboard with clean code. Like the main game is very much tries to be clean. The side game I kind of just slapped together because I wanted to get it working as fast as possible, but not in a bad way. Right? It's still functional. And it still works pretty well, but it's not clean. I know it's not clean. Use my game was a party system where switch between active or fun. Oh, okay. So character singleton one. Oh, okay. So essentially every character is a singleton. They're their own object. Like they're not like a child of like character object. They're their own object and you just pass the input between the characters. That's pretty cool. If I'm getting that right. That's cool, man. Well, I would imagine in the absence of the control, it reverts to being an NPC, I'm sure, right? So instead of taking input, it just switches back to its NPC logic. That's cool, though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I imagine for enemies, you had to instance those, right? You had to have like a main enemy object and you either extend it or instantiate it from that. For inputs. Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna play on the trigger function real quick. What logic say? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like your NPC logic takes over and it just does the inputs through logic instead of actually taking from user. That's cool, man. Okay, I want to see which one of these hits. Oh, enemy types, but let's extend the class exactly. Let's throw these on everything. Or throw this function on everything. Well, I gotta set up in the main function. That's not right. I reserve my feelings on Unity's programming. I've definitely had some issues with their scripting. With Unity, I mean, it's Unity's scripting language, scripting API, where it doesn't give you it only gives you partial control of certain things. Yeah. It's just like what was a really good example? Their animation stuff. Like I tried initially in the main game. I tried initially to make my own animation events, but they don't clear those events out once they've executed. So it's a memory leak. And so I actually wrote code to manage that memory leak. But even then, like if the animation was too quick, like the events wouldn't fire. Like it was like less than a frame, the events wouldn't fire. And so it wasn't until I talked to Dayanara about it. And Dayanara told me about using states instead. And that's where I got it working. Where he helped me get it working. So Dayanara actually helped me fix that problem. But Unity itself has a memory leak in its event system. Exactly. And that's kind of the problem I think I'm having with the in this game with the collision detection. I think that if the collision detection is too fast, if the movement is within a frame, it doesn't. I don't think it's going to catch it properly. But I'm willing to try its way of doing it. Otherwise, I'm not sure that this game is going to work in Unity. Because the one of the biggest problems we're having is if you move too fast while you're moving a planet and you overlap, it doesn't catch it fast enough. The collision of the two colliders, excuse me. At least as far as I've seen, I could not be doing it properly since I feel fairly new to Unity. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I wonder if I still got that code. Hold on. I might not have that code anymore. I might have gotten rid of it. Animation controller. I think I've gotten rid of it. Where I was coming in here, I was setting up an animation end event. It was this one. Yeah, that's gone now, but I was coming in here and I was going into Unity's animator and I was inserting my own event to call my own function. And it just wasn't working. It would just miss it. So now Dayanara had helped me figure out, or he had shown me how to write a animation state function, where now when the state updates, it checks the remember my own code here. It checks the time, because animation can play for a percentage of its run before it gets interrupted or merged or merged with another animation. And so it just looks for if the time has passed. See, the event has a run percentage before execution. And so when that's run, when it hits like the amount of the animation it's supposed to run, then it calls the event to end it. Well, I don't want to have a bunch of extra scripts. Like, this is just to send it back to the animation controller. And all my animation control functions are in there. Because these get put on the models. That way I don't have things scattered all around. Well, right, but I needed to be able to, like, say, at 40% of this animation, end it so you can play the next animation. Because I have it where, like, attacks are chained together, and I have it where I have it in the database where you can tell it, okay, if you're playing this animation, stop it 40% in. If you're playing this animation and this next, you're playing one animation and there's another animation coming after. When you have these two animations, only play 40% of this animation and then jump into 20% of the next animation. Well, that's what I'm doing. Right, this is state control. It's animation state. Is that what you're talking about? Because on animation enter and end wouldn't have with all the parameters of the nodes. Now I'm not familiar then. But this is state machine right here. This is state machine behavior. Oh, and you talking about like manually in the animator tab? Well, I can't do it manually because it has to be dynamic because it's coming from the database. So I'm scripting out what you're doing in the animator tab. Yeah, I can't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, because when it's on state update, come in here. But I've talked about it. The next thing I need to figure out is blending animations will probably be one of the next things I need to come in here and figure out. But that's another day. You know, I don't know if since you've been here that I've been noticing a lot of penance songs I've been playing. They probably just wash over me. Well, that's what I'm doing here is crossfading. But I'm talking about like actually blending animations, playing animations over top of each other. Because this is a crossfade. This is going to a crossfade. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I'm gonna have to get into that. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm gonna have to make it dynamic because in this game, a player can decide, okay, I want to do attack 1 and attack 5. And I have tried blending before, but I had issues with it. But I imagine that was me being early. It's in the player controller, isn't it? Yeah. Merge animations. And all this is doing is just, it's using reflection later at the end of the animation, is using reflection to know what function to call, do like crossfading. I wish I could get into doing it because it requires the same library of animation. I don't doubt it. But you talking about the Assassin's Creed games? Dude, I haven't played. Like, what's the last one I played? The last one I played was 4, was Black Flag. Yeah, the level of technical animation they're probably doing is insane. It's beyond something like we could probably do. Like, if we didn't, if we could probably do it if we were just to do nothing else. Every animation to reach the result in your inputs. So it does it on the fly, like while you're playing. Oh, that's cool. I mean, this is, and a lot of people bag on Assassin's Creed, but I do kind of wish that level of technology feels like it should make a better game. That I'm not trying to bag on AC. Like, I love AC games. I just feel like sometimes they're, yeah, I mean, there are good ones. Like, I want to go, I'm still playing through them, like Black Flag, and then I wanted to play the one after that. Anyway, but like, I just feel like for when you have a big team and that type of resources and stuff, like, I don't feel like you should have like some of the technical issues I've seen in those games. That's just me. And I know, like, you know, that making game dev is hard. It's hard not to have bugs. It's hard not to have issues. But when you have a lot of resources and you see like technical issues, you're like, how? Like, why? Yeah, anyway, that's just me. I haven't played Oranges yet. Like I said, I have Black Flag, the next one's probably going to be Rogue, and then after that was Syndicate, and then I'll eventually get to Origins. I plan to like play a number of them. But I've stopped playing games at this point because I'm so busy. And I hate it. Okay. And see, that's the thing. I don't like. Yeah. I don't like Assassin's Creed combat, but I love everything else about it, right? like 2 and Brotherhood were my favorite. Because just the diversity of the way you could get around and things you could the strategy you could do to get to like the target and stuff like that. That stuff was awesome. Now I'm trying to figure out where to set our script's main controller value. Oh, I can actually show you the game now because I actually got rid of the script that was causing me problems. Why don't we do that real quick? If I haven't broken it some other way. And see, that's what I'm trying to fix right now. That should not be happening. Like, they should actually touch. See, I'm not sure why that's happening. And so you see, as it's going away, as it's going up there, you're getting a multiplier increase. That's what it is so far. And see, I've never played the Witcher games, which is kind of on my list of games as well. I want to go back and play all 3 Witcher games. Yeah, all 3. I mean, I kind of figured. Yeah, I played 1 and 2. I played Dragon Age 1 and 2, and so I've done what 2 playthroughs of 1, and I played through 2, and I was like, I can see where this game just wasn't finished. Like, it has a good idea here of this city. I mean, I see they try to put more into the story, but you only had like 1 area. Well, okay. So, yeah, it's unfinished. Yeah, the combat is literally the same reskinned classes, and but they do some interesting things with the story. Like, if you you can make choices in a game and like see the benefits of them, or the bad that comes from them. So that I kind of liked, but that game is not finished. Now, I have played through all the Mass Effect games, because since we're talking about Dragon Age and yeah, I played through all the Mass Effect games, and I love Mass Effect. Like 1, 2, and 3. I mean, and say what you want about Andromeda, it had the best combat. It was a buggy mess. Yeah, I mean, it's off and on. Well, okay. So the Bioware of today, or the last, Mass Effect made Andromeda is not the Bioware that made the first one or the second one, right? You can tell by the end of 2 that they were starting to switch teams, because the DLC for 2 was not that great. And 3 was a buggy mess when it came out. But it eventually gets good, even though the ending of that story is not that great. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Andromeda I played Andromeda. It was a buggy mess. Like it barely had a story, and it was bad on multiple levels. Like the maps were terrible. Like if it would have like. And you could tell though they weren't finished, because like it would just be go to this side of the map. There would be the other side of the map, and then there was always something in the middle of the map where you had to go all the way around the map to get to it. Like it was terrible stuff like that. But the combat was really great. Like the jetpack, the jetpack enabled combat was really cool. I'm honestly I actually want to put that in a future game. Yeah, I played Outer Worlds. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I like the diversity of the weapons and what you can do with them. Probably because it was a little bit too goofy for me. Yeah, exactly. I was literally going to say that. I was just literally about to say that. Now I've played 3. I played Fallout 3. I've not played New Vegas yet. But that's what it is. It felt like Fallout with a little bit of Dragon Age Mass Effect type of counter decision stuff. Because the thing about Outer Worlds too is, at one point I was waiting for a villain to go guahaha, and one actually did it. Like the villain at the end literally went guahaha. I was like, game, like you're trying too hard to be like 1920s funny. And that's the way they make it to be. Like all of them really dumb. Like why would you can't make food, so you make something that makes people not hungry so they die from starvation. It's like it tries to be too goofy to me. This is how you get to that script, right? Yeah. Like I said, I'm not saying it was a bad game at all. It just really wasn't. It really wasn't to my taste. Here's that. How did I do it in here? I have to go back and look at my own code sometimes. I remember how I did certain things. Because when I load the models, I put the animation script on them. I'm sitting there, can't remember how I did anything. Yeah, dude. I've probably done it. It's down the bottom. Yeah, it's just component. Okay, I just add a component. Wait a minute, why? I do that all the time. I do that all the time. I was literally saying earlier this stream, I have not looked at this code for 2 weeks, and now I can't remember anything. I could not remember anything about where I had put this code to where I had put that code for when I wrote my own collision detection. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know from just that if that's necessary, but to me, it feels like there is some cognitive dissonance between the scripts and the editor, because the editor just does not do the scripts do not functionally do the same thing you can just do in the editor. And I don't think that's right. I think you should have the ability to dynamically do things. Whatever you can do in the editor, you should be able to dynamically do it in scripts. And that's probably reasons why you can't do that. But it also doesn't really make sense why your application is not multi-threaded either. And again, there could be good reasons for it. I just don't know, but anyway. What's I doing? Okay, I don't need to have this here. because I'm doing this dynamically. Yeah, well, the programmers get the blame. Like if you always hear somebody complain about a game, it's the devs did this and devs that. When really it's probably a lot of like planning was not done properly on like a managerial level, or decisions were made higher than that that just didn't mesh with what was happening on the ground. Oh, okay, I got compilators. Because I didn't bring that. Bring this in. And see, I've got Cyberpunk and I've not played it yet. But when I saw people playing it, when I saw streamers playing it, it was like, it was a beautiful, buggy mess. Like, yeah, I hear it's a good game now, but like, I have literally seen guys just die out of nowhere. Like literally a streamer just driving down the street and he just died. And he's like, how did they, I guess at some point somebody made a decision to release that game in a state knowing that it was not working correctly. Oh, in fact, I actually did one time work at, oh, what was it? Is Red Storm still a thing? I worked at Red Storm for a couple of days as a tester for Rainbow Six Broken Arrow. I remember that. I think that's the name. And found the glitch where you loaded into an area and then you quick loaded out and loaded back in, and it still had the assets. You were in that level, but you had the assets from the previous level or something like that, and reported it. And next day they had us go home because they were shipping. And this is before they had like where you got updates. So they knowingly ship, like, you know, I guess they have no choice at some point. They have to ship the game. So sometimes they'll knowingly ship like bugs. I guess there's some things that are just kind of like a level of acceptance. And the funny thing too is, after they told us to go home, or they told us like, all right, well, we're not going to pay you guys for the rest of the day, but you can kind of just hang out and play if you want. And me and my roommate were like, cool. So we just kind of hung out and played. And then the guy comes back up to us and is like, I mean, I wasn't really being serious. You guys need to go. It's like, hey, all right, man. Just... management at its finest. Even back then. Oh, for real, for real. Dude, there are paid demos at this point. Well, okay. I don't want to say it like that. Because you could say like, if you sign up for a Patreon, are you not paying for a game you haven't gotten yet? Well, see, now, people stretch what early access is, right? Like, what is it? There are games that are now, that says they're in early access that have multiple players playing, like, tons of people playing them. I think early access gets used, its meaning gets stretched way thin. Like some people use it in very terrible ways for games that aren't finished, or they put it on a game that they don't want to say has launched yet, but they want to get people into, like a multiplayer game that is functionally working. Season passes can be pretty bad though. Like it just depends on what the season pass is. It's like prepaying for a movie and the movie sucks. Ugh. Sorry to hear that. Yes, true. You are right about that. Well, okay, car insurance is different. Car insurance is that you're making a bet if something happens, you're covered. Like a season pass just may not happen, they just keep your money. Like season pass is actually worse than car insurance. So why are we not seeing our function? Or our object, our class. Is that right? Where are you not seeing the class? And this is another artist that was on Lana's Discord as well. This Gemma Dyer. Why are you not seeing this? Sounds familiar, but not off the top of my head. Oh, is that's a band? This is something over here. I think I did anything different than the other one. Just trying to remember things here. Class. That's my behavior. what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, still can't find it. Nothing here to do. Oh, well, I didn't misspell it. It probably doesn't make a difference. I'm probably missing something. I'm probably a little too tired to figure out what it is. Sitting here is not going to help me. So we'll probably call it for the night. At least we're on the way. I feel like we're on the way to figuring something out. We'll see. But I want to thank Multi Wizard, aka Ginyu, aka Ginyu Force, aka Brother Lou, and that man Robin stopping by, and Ton of Bricks. Always a pleasure, guys. And any lurkers, much appreciate you hanging out. I will probably be back on Wednesday. I will probably be back on this if I'm not able to get the main game in a working state. Well, we shall see. All right. Well, y'all have a good night. Take it easy, and I will see you next time.